Galapagos by Pasto. For more information, contact me at jpasto@mgc.edu. A typical trip to the Galapagos begins with a visit to Quito, where we see cathedrals and we walk on the equator. From Quito, we fly to the Galapagos and board a boat. Usually it's a small boat. This is the Floriana. This is a view of the back deck and the top deck, where we relax, listen to the guide talk. The staterooms are small, but the food is delicious. Here we are, eating in the dining room of the Floriana. The Galapagos have several small towns. This is the town of Puerto Ayora, population around 15,000. It's the commercial center of the Galapagos, a place where a lot of visitors go. Often we have a chance to visit a school. This is in the town of Puerto Villamil. We spend 7 days and nights eating and sleeping on the boat and go to shore in a small boat, often called a dinghy. 2 ways to get to shore. One is like this, a wet landing, in which we step off into the surf, and the other is a dry landing, in which we step off onto the shore. Visitors have to stay on marked paths. Many of them are flat and very easy to navigate. Some are a little bit rougher, but not bad. We have an opportunity to do swimming once or twice a day, and it's loads of fun to swim in the beautiful Pacific with the marine life. The most amazing aspect of the Galapagos is the tameness of the animals. Here an egret just caught a lizard. The animals carry on their activities of daily lives right before our eyes. This is the famous blue-footed booby. The boobies nest on the ground, and we can wander right up to them. We're not allowed to touch the animals, but we observe their activities up close. This is the Nazca booby, a very white bird. And this is the red-footed booby. This one nests in the trees. Another very common bird is the frigate bird. Here the frigate birds are flying around the boat, and this is a typical male frigate bird inflating its gular sac to try to attract a mate. A magnificent sight. A very interesting bird is the waved albatross. It nests only on Espanola Island, and here we are watching the albatross nest. And this one is walking toward the cliff, preparing to take off. Beautiful birds. The albatrosses exhibit a very elaborate courtship behavior, some of which is shown here. They have an amazing wingspan, and they're wonderful flyers. Pelicans are common. This one is in a nesting area on Rabida Island. We've observed the pelicans mating and nesting and raising their young. The Galapagos hawk is another common bird on the islands, and you can practically walk right up to them. These two are feeding on the carcass of a blue-footed booby. Mockingbirds are another type of bird, very curious birds. But the most unusual bird is the flightless cormorant. Here's one coming up from the water with some seaweed in its mouth to present to a potential mate and to build its nest. These cormorants, unlike all the rest in the world, have lost the ability to fly. Penguins are also found in the Galapagos, and flamingos. This flamingo is feeding with a duck. And of course the famous Darwin's finches, rather small birds found everywhere. One of the most common animals to be seen is the marine iguana, the only seagoing lizard in the world. An ugly-looking beast, about 3 feet long, a vegetarian, so it's harmless. The head of the marine iguana is encrusted with salt. The problem is they absorb salt while swimming, and so they have to excrete the salt by snorting it. We often see great numbers of marine iguanas lying in the sun to absorb heat. Another is the land iguana, about the same size as the marine iguana, and usually very colorful. Although this is a reptile world, mammals do exist, particularly the sea lion. Here we are, looking at sea lions. This one is a male sea lion. They're very territorial. And this one is in the process of chasing away 2 males that invaded its territory. We have to remember that these are wild animals, yet they show no fear of people. We also have an opportunity to visit Post Office Barrel on Floriana Island, a working post office. This is a lava tube that we can walk into. And finally, the beautiful coastline of Hispaniola Island with its blowhole.